Hello, my viewers. Hello, my viewers.
Chris,
I
you
gotta
are on
get
it.
the right voice.
He-
Hello, my viewers.
I almost got him to come on the show at one point.
Well,
Didn't work out though.
why wouldn't he come on?
I think a lot of people agree to come on the show, and that, well, actually, funny thing, people agree to come on the show, and then they watch the show, and then they kind of back out and disappear.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of really
Whatever.
cool people that have showed up and been like, and then asked to come back on a second or third time.
I laugh at the people that I invite from my side over to this show because I still get emails probably once a month. I can no longer watch your content. You curse too much. And they're
No.
talking about my channel, not
Right.
even this. And I'm like, when do I curse? What did I say?
We're hitting Chris where it counts, right in the pocketbook, Joe.
Yeah. No, they don't even make it over here. I would just imagine the people that I invite over here, they're like unsubscribe from everything I do.
Joe, that's quite the Magnum PI mustache you got going on there?
Do I? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know. It looks a
don't
little thicker than your beard coming in. I mean,
You know the rumors about Tom Selleck, right? You know, in the Magnum PI days, you know.
No,
I
no,
don't
I
know. It
don't.
might be
Fill
good
me in.
rumors in your way there, Joe, because if you like that kind of stuff.
Oh, tell me about it. Just briefly.
Wieners and buttholes.
Oh, okay.
well, there goes another couple fans, Chris.
That's all I had to say.
Is that, I mean, do you mean to go more in depth? Because
no,
actually there was no rumors
Excuse me.
about Tom Selleck. I was just making fun of you.
So last week, guys, I don't know if you're aware. Well, you guys are aware, but I didn't know at the time we had the show. But I did have the Rona. Well, not the Rona. Yeah, I guess the Rona.
I've got an employee out with it right now.
Fuck, it was horrible.
Yeah.
But I still
Is
went
that
to
your
work.
first-
like
is
a
that the
champ.
first time you've had it?
First time I had it.
What was your
I'm aware.
symptoms? Did you lose your taste?
Yes. That's
Okay, so you
actually the
did.
worst part about it because I eat like a cow.
I didn't know. I had it too.
Yeah.
I
That was
didn't
your second
know I
time,
had it.
right?
This is the first time. I can't believe I stayed out this long. But I actually was it last weekend? 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago on that Saturday when I did that AeroSeal job, I felt like crap. I'm feeling like that Friday night. I'm like, guys, I think I'm getting sick. And Joe like, no, you're just stressed out, dude. You're all right. You're just stressed out. The next day I felt bad. And then I took Sunday and Monday off. I was actually supposed to go to Alex Meany's Right Soft class. And I paid for it and I didn't go to it because I felt like crap, right?
Yeah.
My mom called me like Wednesday because I took Monday, Tuesday off. Wednesday, she called me. She's like, hey, you were at the house over the weekend and I tested positive, you know. I'm like, oh, crap. So I told my wife. She called the school. They tested our kids. We all freaking, dude,
It went down.
we all had it. And I took 2 days off. I kept working. And when I found out about it, it was already like a week past when I was sick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's going around right now. It's monkey flu, right? Or monkey
What's
pox
up with
or
that?
something, right? I don't know. Someone fucked a monkey and then now it's spreading around or something. I don't know, dude. So let's address the elephant in the room. Bill is not here today, right? Bill, he was driving home earlier. He told me I was on the phone with him and he's like, dude, I got to stop at this Pilot gas station. I got to take a shit. I know he went into the bathroom and he never came out. So I don't know where Bill's, who knows what he's doing, but I laughed.
He did send us a message this morning. He had quite the day ahead of him.
Yeah. Yep.
He also posted in the overtime group. He was changing out. What was he changing out on a fryer? Something.
Fire pump.
Oh yeah.
I guess so, yeah.
He said something about comments or something, and I said, looks like two monkeys and a football are involved in this one because it looked like it was a fire pump change out.
There was another one I seen briefly. I had to give it a like because it made me laugh, or I laughed at it. He was like one of the first or second ones. He's like trying to figure out the gender. Sorry, I don't know. I just had to laugh at that. It just made me laugh.
I don't see how Bill, like companies like this, which I know there's a lot of companies out there that do this kind of work, but like, dude, Bill is telling us every day he's driving like 3 hours to a service call. How do you make any money doing that?
He was having like a 3-hour drive last I talked to him. So before he stopped at the Pilot gas station. So who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But crazy. So it's just three of us, making memories. We're gonna try. So See what we can do. We got a lot of normal people in the chat as usual. See a lot of regulars in there. What's up to everybody?
There's a few abnormal people in there too.
Is there abnormal people?
Yeah, I wouldn't say everyone's walking a straight line.
Guys, we got. Hey, listen, Bill's not here. We still have to say hi to our #1 fan. I see him in chat.
Oh, let's see. Can I do this? That's the wrong button.
Yeah.
See, that's what.
That's porn star music.
There
That's
you go.
porn star
I need to label my mixing board right there, so that way I know what music is what.
Yeah.
I had a dog here. That's the normal one.
Hey, Randy and Luke. And also the other Luke.
My dog bark actually sounds like my Luke. My Luke now sounds like that. Yeah. Yep.
I wouldn't be able to. I mean, think about it. If you're going to work an 8-hour day, you know, they're talking about in the chat driving a far distance. You got a 3-hour commute. How long are you going to work that day? Most of your day is going to be driving.
Well, I mean, I'm in Southern California, a couple hours from Los Angeles, and I mean, I typically will have about an hour to an hour 15-minute commute in the morning, and then maybe an hour to an hour and 15-minute commute, home. That's pretty normal for me, but anything more than that, it starts to get really annoying and frustrating. But I purposely don't drive 3 hours in one direction to fix something that makes me $600 and then drive 3 hours in the other direction. That doesn't seem logical.
I wonder how much their bill is. It must be huge to make money. Like Adam was saying, you're not going to go do $600, $500 bill.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
Who knows? But hey, whatever floats your boat, right?
Right.
Speaking of driving, I missed. I had to cancel because I was behind because I was sick. My wife's still kind of sick right now. She's just starting to feel better, but I missed the Measure Quick training, guys, this week.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I finally figured something out with the Measure Quick. My frustration was driving me nuts with Measure Quick. So when I first downloaded the new Measure Quick and I first turned it on, I'm like, the whole gauges are different. It says subcooling on one side and something else on the, I was like, what the hell? That's just a setting down at the bottom. You got to click a button. So I'm like, oh, okay. But every time I turn it on, it always defaults to that screen for some reason.
Can you make it not default to that?
I'm sure you can. I haven't gotten that far yet. Again, I don't read instructions and I don't ask for help. I
would have been able to help you right now because I would have been a certified Measure Quick trainer.
Not anymore.
Tonight, I would have my credentials.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't anymore.
Oh.
So I'm just like a regular nobody like the rest
You're
of
just like me.
Yeah.
Clueless and lost. But I also figured out stop trying to make the whole report because that's what was giving me so much anxiety. Like, stop trying to fill out all the customers' information. Yeah, don't do that. If you go down to the bottom right on the Android tablet, there's a plus sign. If you hit the plus sign, there's a gauge right there. Just hit the gauge. Boom, takes you right to the gauges. There we go. Old school Measure Quick. We're good to go.
So the classic does work. Well, I know last time I did the classic, my thing totally glitched out. My whole screen went white.
I'm not clicking the classic. I don't know if that's taking me to classic. I'm literally just going down to where the tool manager's at, and then there's a gauge right there. Just click the gauge. I have no idea if that's the classic thing or not. I don't read. I don't pay attention. I just kind of like to push buttons and see what happens. So
the old button pusher.
I'm a button pusher, dude. Button pusher. So
how was your week anyways, boys?
It was an okay week. It was kind of, for me, I had a wrench thrown and everything because I've got a guy out all week. And it's like, okay, we're fine, but it just kind of stops you from being able to do certain things. So it is what it is. What about you, Adam?
Yeah, go ahead. I was just gonna say something first.
I was reading some of the comments. Yeah, I had a pretty freaking busy week. Still catching up on things from when it was pretty hot. Catching up on my days off. Working tomorrow again. Finishing up a couple jobs. I'm trying to think. Was there anything interesting this week that we talked about earlier? We didn't talk very much this week, boys.
No, we didn't. I always like look at the chat. I'm like, what's going on? And it's like nothing.
Yeah, it's quiet this week.
Are we friends? Are we still friends, guys?
I don't know.
Still friends. I think we're still friends.
Man. I've had more I've talked to Bill more this week than I've talked to any of you guys because Bill and we actually call each other on the phone and then we talk like normal people.
Well, Bill's been pretty down on himself this week. Maybe that's why he seems to get to Smiley Chris, talking to Smiley Chris. That gives him some upbeat, I guess. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But there was a chat. Good question in chat, which I was thinking of doing as well because actually somebody asked me. He's making a cooler in the backyard. If there's anything he should know.
Making a cooler in the backyard. What kind of cooler?
There was
I'm talking like probably just like a cooler for like a refrigeration cooler, whatever, walk-in cooler, whatever you want to call it, like a cooler.
So
no, he's asking if there's anything he should know. I just find it pretty cool thing he's asking, because I kind of want to do that for somebody because they asked, and I was thinking of how to go about it.
it's not that hard, but you need to lay a concrete pad. So
do you have to have a pad, or can you just equate for that heat loss from the whatever floor it is? Maybe like some slabs.
I mean, it depends on where you're at, man. So
true. And you know what, Chris? Correct me if I'm wrong. It's not a commercial setting. It's a house. So you don't have to be so critical on all your heat losses. Maybe just find out whatever product you're going to have in there, your specific heat. Maybe find out, obviously do the, what's it called? The transition, whatever it is, the dimensions and your equation there, the temp in and outside. But that's pretty much it. Then do like a safety factor. But other than that, there's not really much else to really do, is there?
Well, I mean, I don't know if I agree with that statement, because you still need to be concerned about the infiltration. And obviously, I mean, if you're not insulating very well, if you're going to lay it directly on the ground, you're going to have issues where you're going to have excessive run times and different things like that. That's going to make your equipment, not last.
I mean, let's be honest. If you have that kind of dough to be putting a walk-in cooler or whatever in your backyard, freaking pour a concrete pad.
Yeah. I agree. You know what? I agree. Okay, if you put a concrete pad, you do good insulation, which, okay, fine. The manufacturer should usually give you the U values of that insulation of that.
Every walk-in box has got 4-inch.
Okay,
walls.
so there you go.
So it's just 4-inch walls on the floor and everything else, and you're good to go.
So okay, so maybe just add a little bit for infiltration. But how about in the sun? If the sun's beating down on it, you must
well, when you do your load calculation, you're basically going to say that the box is exposed 100% of the time to the elements. Gotcha. And the load calculation will do the math for you. It's just it's just like doing a heat loss for a house, really. It's just changing a few variables, but you're going to have infiltration, you're going to have sun hitting on the box. It's not really much different than a house. No. So one thing I will say though is, depending on the equipment, more and more, at least here in Southern California, you need to put some kind of power conditioning, some kind of power monitor, because brownouts and different things like that, where, we have voltage spikes, whatever it is, that hits a lot. And, with new high efficiency equipment, you need to do the same thing too but with older systems, they kind of were forgiving to brownouts and different things like that. But with new equipment, man, some kind of power monitor, something to just make sure that shuts equipment down and or does something else. Also be very careful when you're putting that kind of equipment on residential stuff. Be really careful about trying to run it off of generators or anything like that, because generators are horrible unless you have the right ones. So
yeah.
People are asking in the chat again about Bill. Bill got lost in a truck stop somewhere on the way home from Cleveland today.
He sent me a picture of a hole in the stall, and that's the last thing I saw. So I don't know. Maybe he stuck his wiener through a hole and it got cut off. I don't know.
There was here in Ohio, Adam, we miss you at Measure Quick. I'm super pissed off that I didn't go to Measure Quick. I'm bummed out. They're Hey, Joe.
I know the feeling you have, because there was a couple trade shows and events that happened after I got back from the symposium, and I got to see all the same people from the symposium go into these events again, and I wasn't there, and it's like, that sucks.
I really wanted to actually like learn, to get, their certified training thing or whatever, but you guys, hey Joe, you were talking about the post on the walk-in cooler. Did you see the post about the guy who wanted to, some rich guy's house, who wanted to air condition his patio?
No, I seen that briefly, and I think you and Chris talking about it in chat, but no, I didn't. I forgot to clue into that.
Oh, that's
what was up with that?
It's funny because they were talking about like, how can you cool? It's not going to be cool till like 70 degrees or whatever, but they wanted to air condition like a patio area outside.
That's funny.
I mean, I to be honest with you, I've thought about doing it before. I've thought about doing it, and you're not going to cool it. You're just going to lessen the
humidity. Like, you can't say humidity. I was thinking almost like a swamp cooler style, like just throwing air across maybe something cold. I guess that's a swamp cooler, isn't it? I don't know. I'm not used to swamp coolers.
Swamp
But is that what they
cooler
do?
isn't a swamp cooler. I mean, there's no swamp coolers by me, but isn't there like a media in a swamp cooler where water runs across the media?
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe it holds it there longer. I don't know. But yeah, there you go. Ty Brennan saying make it air current all the way around. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Air curtains are the new thing, but like, have you been into any of the big giant box stores, Joe, and seen like the air curtains at Costco and Sam's Club and different things like that? Those are some intense air curtains, man. There's some crazy technology out there for that stuff. Like,
you're right.
Those things are awesome. So I did want to address, we were talking about Measure Quick a few minutes ago, and then Rich, hey, what's up, Rich? I haven't seen you in a while, or maybe I just haven't been paying attention, but Rich had said that the Field Piece app sucks since they updated it. First off, I will say that we all have a hard time with change. Change for sure is something that frustrates even myself when it comes, like right now I'm having a hard time with Measure Quick because I use that app so much and they change things and it just messes with my head. It's probably for the better, but Rich, I did have a lengthy conversation and got really frustrated with Field Piece in the way that there was a lot of things that I hadn't been talking to them about, issues with tools. And I literally made them a 10-minute video showing all the issues that I had with their tools and my frustrations and why aren't you guys doing this? Why aren't you doing that? All this stuff. And I thought they were going to be like, all right, fuck Chris. We're never going to work with them again. They have told me that everything on my list was going to be addressed within the next year. Like they literally made it bullet points. And I was like, for real? They took my advice. So a lot of changes.
I got frustrated with that app too. I was actually beta testing that app and I just didn't want to use it. I'm like, I'm not even doing this anymore. I don't like it. I'm not.
It just takes time to get used to things. And again, I can't discuss what the stuff is that I recommended to Field Piece, but there was a lot of cool changes. And let's see. Rich, I haven't had a chance to try to add pictures, but I will definitely give that feedback to them because I do have their ear and I will tell them that people are having problems uploading photos. So
nice. How did that system change out go there, Adam? What were you doing today? It's pretty high pricey one.
Yeah. 18 SEER 2-stage and a 2-stage variable furnace, return drop, humidifier. It wasn't anything crazy, but it turned out well. We finished it. I thought it was going to take 2 days. We got it done in a day.
Cool.
I'm tired. Tomorrow we're setting 2 Bosch heat pumps on a job we've been working on and off, 2 full duct systems, 120-year-old house. That was the one where the general contractor had his own heating guy and the guy was insisting on installing 2 80,000 BTU furnaces, a 3-ton and a 3.5-ton. And we did a load calc on the house and a blower door test. Previously, we're going to do another blower door test next week when the installation's done, but we're going in with taking the Bosch 3 tons and flipping the switch so they're running at 2 tons, the inverters, and then do 2 40,000 BTU furnaces there.
Nice. How did the other startup go with the Bosch? Did you end up doing it? Like, how did it go? Like, I never started up a Bosch before myself, to be honest. So,
honestly, I have to run a call on a Bosch I just started up a few weeks ago. The guy is freaking pissed. Why? So pissed right now. Well, his air went out like a couple days after we started it up, and I went out there, and he had a finished basement. And I know there's a lot of guys from the South that like rag on people because we didn't have enough wires to run out to the outdoor unit, and everyone's like, just run a new wire. It's easy, bro. You could do it in no time. Not everyone around here has a single-story house with an attic that you could feed something across or an open basement.
Everything's easy. Outside looking in, everything's easy.
Right.
Oh, it pisses me
drywall
off.
Everywhere. Yeah. You have no route to get wires out, and this is what the guy wanted. So I use something that's called FastStat 9000, where you add multiple wires to the output.
Add a wire kind of a thing. Yeah.
And it was running good for a couple days, and then boom, thing went bad. The guy was pissed. I went out there, I looked at it. It's bad. It went bad. Why did it go bad? I don't know why it go bad. I'm not a freaking scientist. I have no clue why it went bad. It was running for days. I went to go order a new one. Nothing locally in the Chicagoland area for what I needed. Go online, supplyhouse.com, back order till August.
Oh, yeah.
Johnstone had one in Las Vegas. I ordered it. It took him a week and a half or whatever to bring it in for me.
Really?
The guy is so mad. Every day he's sending me nasty text messages. This is ridiculous. This is, and I'm like, dude, I can run a wire across the ceiling of your basement if that's what you want, you know? Other than that, you got to wait for the part.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah. I was trying to locate just wire mesh the other day, and I couldn't find any. All suppliers were out. They didn't have
Wire mesh for what?
I was doing some radiant flooring, excuse me, for a driveway.
Oh, okay.
And I was under crunch time because there was going to be concrete coming in. Have the owner watch me 24/7, ask me when it's going to be done. Anyways, and I couldn't find wire mesh. And he's one of those owners that is like, anything my guys could do, anything my guys could do, anything my guys could do. Just, I go, dude, no, just give me space. We gotta just do our thing, and that's it. Like, one of those guys. But then he realized after, okay, oh yeah, these guys are right. They did do it and get finished in time. But just one of those guys. My guys could do something. My guys could do something. Tell them what to do.
Joe.
Whoa.
It's actually funny.
Whoa.
So
I think North Korea is invading Canada right now.
134 a-hole said I should run a temp wire.
Isn't that what you just said? You gave him the option.
I gave him the option to that. I didn't leave him without air conditioning. What I did was I jumped the hot to the Y on the so I left. It's an inverter and it ramps down based on airflow. I turned his fan to on, left his fan on, so it runs at 25% capacity. He's had air conditioning this whole time.
Got it. He just wanted it.
It ramps up when there's actually a call. You know, he's been good.
That's pretty good. Am I back? It's a pretty good idea. I think I'm back, right? Oh,
look at that. What?
Oh,
it's freaking picture. Let him back in. That's Bill. What is up, Bill?
Hilarious.
What's up, butt nuggets?
Hey, how did that glory hole work out in the Pilot gas station?
Oh man, somebody put glue on the other side and a board. Glued my ding dong to a board. I was fighting it for hours.
Oh, like a mouse sticky pad. Gotcha.
Oh man.
Oh, speaking of those mouse sticky pads, I had a customer that has a pest problem, and they have a you go up like a 6-foot ladder, and then there's like a mezzanine that you walk through, and then there's another 6-foot ladder to get on the roof. Those assholes put those sticky paper things all over up there. So I'm like, you set your tools up there. Now it's stuck to the bottom. I took every one of those and I threw them in the trash. I was like, fucking dumbass things.
Sticky paper things. What are those?
For bugs?
Catching mice and
oh, those things. Oh man, those are a bitch, dude. Those are hard to get off.
Yeah.
I don't know how much they cost, but I took every one. There was like 4 of them up there. I took those things and I threw them all in the trash. I was like, get these out of the mezzanine, dude.
It's funny. A long time ago when I had my first dog, my dog used to always find them, but the mice never used to find those things. So imagine getting on your dog's chest. Like, ugh.
No.
Yes, guys, my dog's an outside dog, not an inside dog.
Joe leaves his dog. Joe lives in Canada where it's negative 50 degrees all the time. And he leaves his dog outside, doesn't let him in the house. He's not allowed in the house.
It's a guard dog. She loves it outside. It's a German.
For those that don't know what's going on, Bill is driving right now. Bill is not making it to the show. He just popped in for a little while, so that's why his audio sounds weird. He's on his phone.
Yeah, I'm driving down the road, down the interstate.
Yeah.
And where
but, you know,
yeah, go ahead.
Fucking very, very far away from home. Working south of Columbus today, man. I was way down in Ohio.
Oh, you should have just went and stayed the night at Rick's house, dude.
Yep.
You know, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I should have stopped. Well, I don't have time tonight. It's late as hell.
I've got the cool. I can't tell you guys what it is, but I have the coolest present that I'm going to get you guys for Christmas, and I'm going to get one for Rick too. It's like the coolest present. So,
is it matching bracelets?
Yep, it's going to be Matt. Damn it, Bill! Why'd you have to ruin that? It's going to say WWCD. What would Chris do? That's what's going to be on the bracelet.
Or is it going to be like a plaster mold of your junk?
That's actually a really good idea. I'm going to take that
also
down
be
right
acceptable.
Now. Plastic mold.
Or you know what's even better is around Valentine's Day. I don't know what company does this, but you can get a plaster mold of your backside. You know, your milk dud, your balloon knot, whatever you want to call it, your fart box. You can get a mold of that, and then they'll make it into little chocolates.
Really?
Really?
That's interesting. That's another
Yeah.
really cool idea. You can send that to the people you hate.
What was it you guys talking about?
Or
earlier?
the people you love, depending.
Yeah, that's true. That's
True.
true.
What were you guys talking about?
Oh no, my
On what, Joe?
Anal
internet
suckers?
hit Joe speeds.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, Bill.
What was that about? Where did
Okay,
that come
so
from?
no, and it was hilarious. So Bill, for context, we have a private chat, and in our private chat, we communicate with each other all week long. We literally say good morning to each other, and we say good night to each other. That's how messed up we are. But we're in there all the time talking with each other. But Bill, Joe, like every once in a while, Bill will just disappear from the chat, and then he'll come back and he'll leave a podcast. I call him podcast because he leaves these stories, these little audio clips.
Yeah.
And if you come in after Bill's in a talkative mood, there's literally 9 of those that you have to listen to. And you're like, fuck. And you start listening, and it's a full-on podcast. So in Bill's podcast, he was bitching. He was bitching about something, and he said, "You can suck my asshole." And then, what was my response? I said, I messaged Bill back, and I go, "I'm really intrigued.
How does that feel?
How does that feel?" And then that led to a whole conversation. It was funny as hell.
Like, well, let me tell you how that feels, Chris.
And then I was like, how do you clean and prepare for that? Like, do you take supplements and then cleanse yourself, and then do you scrub a dub with a cucumber? Like, I'm confused.
You gotta buy a kit off of Amazon. It's called a coffee enema.
I don't want to know.
Is it, they actually have that, Bill?
Yeah.
Oh my!
That's a real thing.
Wow.
I do it every morning.
Every morning. I thought it could be just like Metamucil or something.
It's great, man. I could shit an entire watermelon and not even hurt myself.
Oh, okay. I think that's for other reasons, Bill. That's for other reasons. Why?
Yeah. I kind of forget, like, because I'm not used to doing the show while I'm driving, so I forget momentarily, like just now, that we're actually doing a show right now. It's like we're just
this is just
talking.
a normal conversation. Yeah. So there's a comment in the chat, and it just made me laugh. It says, there it is right there, popped up on the screen. Bill, you don't get to understand what the comment is because you're not watching the show. But no, it's funny though, because he said if you need to get a glue trap off something, in parentheses, for example, a dog. But the way I read it, it was almost like this guy got a glue trap stuck.
So how do you do? What did he say? Who said it?
Cooking oil.
Maybe I'll use motor oil.
Yeah, yes.
I mean, I'm sure any oil will work.
Well, I'm in the garage, right?
You don't want to use motor oil.
And
your dog is covered with motor oil.
Yeah, you're not. Why would you waste your expensive olive oil on your outside dog? That's
true.
Yeah, I'm proud of
garbage dog.
I'm proud of you, Adam. I can't believe it, man. Yeah, olive oil. Us Italians love our olive oil. You're right. You know,
we all love olive oil. It's not even an Italian thing. Dude.
True. But the best olive oil comes from Italy. Come on. But anyways, you know, once I remember
the guy that lives in Canada.
I remember there was.
I heard Joe likes his dogs like he likes his women, outside and on a leash.
Oh, thank you. I like that one. I like that. Where's that ding, Adam? We need a ding for that one.
Hey, Joe.
Thank you.
Do you let the dog run wild in your yard, or is it on a chain like a freaking junkyard dog?
Loose. But loose. Anyways, I was going to say.
Hey, do your neighbors ever like look over the fence, and be like, "Who let the dogs out?" And then you pop your head out the window and go, "Woof woof."
Not quite.
Let's give our honest opinions. I honestly think that Joe has someone chained to a pole in his basement. Like, I think he's that type of person. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked.
It's like his little whipping boy, and it's just in the basement.
I gotta tell everyone in the chat, I fooled Joe. I did a little tomfoolery.
I knew you were doing it.
I did a little tomfoolery a few weeks back. All right. So, do you guys know El Presidente? What's his name?
What's president, Donald Trump?
The pizza review guy.
Justin Trudeau.
Portnoy. What's his first name? Something Portnoy, right?
Mike Portnoy?
No. Everyone knows him.
Is it Ralph Portnoy?
No. What's his name?
Really, we don't know him.
I think it's Jesus. Jesus Portnoy.
He's huge. He goes around and he does Dave Portnoy. He goes around and he does pizza reviews. He stands outside.
Not that big because I don't know who the hell he is.
Yeah, I don't know who he is either.
All right. Anyways, who cares how big he is?
So let's restart the story with your small time pizza guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a better way to start it.
God.
Nobody's ever heard of this guy, right? And he was doing a review. I was watching it. It was in Toronto. So I said, I sent it to Joe, and Joe's like, "Oh, that looks good." I said, "You should try it. It's only 20 minutes from your house."
2 minutes or something like that.
I said something like that to Joe. I said, "It's only 20 minutes from your house." Obviously, I don't know where Joe lives because he's in the witness protection program. He doesn't tell us where he lives. But Joe corrected me, and he said, "No, dude, that's only 10 minutes from my house." Right? So immediately, I do a
This guy throws back this fucking area map, guys. Highlighted. Like he's Dick Tracy, bro.
I did a radius map around this pizza place, and I said, "Oh, we have an area." We know
Bing, bing, bing. You know he's moved since then, though, right?
As soon as I see that pop up, guys, I knew right away. I go, this guy,
As soon as you sent that, Joe called up the transgender witness protection. He's like, I need to move. And they fucking put him on a bus. They moved him to the other side of the British Columbia or wherever.
God. Anyways, I was going to say, so my dog once got sprayed from a skunk. And I'm like, oh, no. Well, tomato juice. You think I'm going to go in my cupboard and use my homemade tomato sauce that I sweat and kill myself making every year? No. I try to use the can one.
Not for that garbage dog. Don't do that.
I used a can one, and it wasn't. It didn't work.
Dude, when my dog got sprayed with a skunk, I didn't know what to do. Like we didn't have any tomato crap, and so that poor dog. This isn't my dog Luke. It was my previous dog. I was so mad when it got sprayed by a skunk. I literally made the dog stand outside because he ran in the house, rubbing all over the floor. So I made him stand outside, and I put a box fan pulling the air from the outside, and then I took baby powder and just fucking shot it into the box fan, and it covered the dog in baby powder.
Nice.
Did it work?
Yeah, the whole dog was covered in baby powder. It was like literally white specks all over him. I felt
like
bad.
A ghost dog.
He's kind of sneezing in his eyes, but it kind of helped a little bit. So I'm sure it was toxic.
Ouch had a good idea. We should go on Google Earth and start looking for dogs in the back.
Get out of your house. Don't listen to him. Anyway,
wow, I'm going through our chat right now, and I'm looking at the pictures only. My gosh, if you just look at the pictures that are in our chat, I think the government might be like stalking us.
It's really disturbing.
Yes, it is very disturbing.
Yeah.
I can literally go through them. I'm in Messenger on my computer. I'm looking at it, and you can see all the media files.
Wait, hold on a second. Let me tell you something. So there's another chat that you are not part of because
Yamo.
Yamo.
Yeah.
Oh, are you serious?
So that's not even
it's not even the bad ones.
It's not even the bad chat, all right?
Yeah.
Pee on the acid on piss will get rid of this. I think I heard of that. You're right, John. Somebody was asking, I think the same gentleman, somebody was asking about low pressure if it's low refrigerant. Yeah, it could be, but it could also be a few other things as well. I think that's probably the number one.
There's that map that you made.
All right, guys.
Number one. Are you kidding me? Get that shit out of there.
Within that range. But let me tell you something.
I was saying, okay, well, don't show that shit.
I say we just go there, we start driving around, and we looking at all the backyards for garbage dogs chained to poles, and we just go knocking on doors, be like, "Hey, have you seen this man?"
Well, and you know he doesn't live by the pointer on the map. He lives 10 minutes away from the pointer, so it's the outskirts of the map.
Yeah, and you know he lives in a nice house.
But we've totally ignored it because you're talking about me.
Well, it's a good question.
Oh no, I was gonna say reference to it because he was saying low suction pressure, refrigerant low. And I'm thinking that's probably the number one mistake out there.
You could be low airflow, dirty filter, clogged coil.
Yeah,
you know, there's a host of things, right?
Big time. And I think that's what I was saying. I think that's probably the number one mistake out there. Guys show up to a unit.
I did that before when I was young.
Me too. I think we all have a one time.
Let's add this thing. You keep adding. You see your head pressure climbing, and you see your suction pressure staying low. You're like, what's going on here? And you're like, oh shit.
You brought up another good point. Not only suction pressure, your superheat. Your superheat would tell you a lot of things too. If your superheat's kind of staying the same, I know it depends what metering device, but if your superheat's kind of staying the same, then obviously it's not,
So I
low
want to
refrigerant.
address Howard Sharp's comment real quick that he says, "Be careful, Alexa and Siri are listening for the NSA, bro. Your phones are listening to everything you do. I have 10 Google cameras in my house, like all over the place. I don't care. I got nothing. I don't give a crap if people are listening. I don't know. I just don't even worry about that stuff. It's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care what anybody listens to or says or whatever.
It's me.
Fuck them.
I mean, you got to think all of our conversations in our chat, if they are listening, it's probably like we probably have fans at the NSA that are listening to us.
Can you imagine, though, the new girl, like the rookie clerk, and they sit her down and she's like this wholesome girl who just came off, she's a Georgia peach, whatever. And then she listens to it, and then we just totally like ruin her, and she goes into a depressive state.
These guys are nuts.
Yeah.
I can't keep up with them.
That's what happened with Joe. He was a great outside. I mean, he started off like Trevor. He was the nicest guy I've ever met in my life. Now look at him.
Changed him. Yeah.
Fuck you guys. I don't want to see this in our group. You're kicked out. You're
my
blah, blah, blah. I don't like this.
Yeah.
We're not interviewing him.
No, you know
You're
what?
not
I'll
allowed
tell you
to
what.
talk to other people. You're not allowed to hang out with other people. And not allowed to go on other shows.
I'll tell you what. No, this week I said it to Adam. No, I said it in chat. I didn't say it to Adam. I didn't know who approved it. There's a certain individual in the group community that has some weird ass posts, and he's kind of a trolly. And the guys are like OG in the community, in chat, whatever. And you guys might know who I'm talking about. Some are off the hooks, and I go, listen, if you accept this, guys, you gotta keep aware of it, because this chat's gonna go nuts. Shit's gonna go down.
I don't do that. You know what I do? I click approve and I just ignore.
Yeah, let me deal with it. That's the thing.
Hell yeah.
Joe deal with it.
I do the same thing. Fucking send it, bro.
Yep.
I was like, oh yeah, I don't care if you spell your name with spaghetti noodles. Fucking send it, bro.
Nope. Just
he is he's a hoot. He's a hoot. Put it that way.
But you know what? I want to give a shout out to Chris Stevens right there, man. I tell you what, I've picked Chris Stevens' brain like a couple times this week about refrigeration stuff and intelligent units. And it's been pretty productive conversations, unlike the one that we've kind of been having so far today.
Yeah.
We were actually getting places before you came on, Bill. We
actually were. Bill with his.
You guys already got all the smart talk out of the way.
Kind of.
Well, we had to stop because you came. So we'll continue.
Yeah, it's usually what happens.
No, but
so I got to work tomorrow, man. I got to go out and change this electronic expansion valve. I don't know if you can hear me because my internet sucks.
No, we can hear you. Yeah, so you're gonna go change that EXV tomorrow?
I'm just gonna keep talking. I don't know.
Oh, I don't think he hears us.
No, he doesn't hear us.
What's he changing?
TXV? I can hear you now.
He must have.
I'm driving faster than the internet.
He must be on Starlink. Oh man,
I'm on the turnpike.
One cool thing about by Bill's house, I think it was in Michigan. Yeah, they have cool cop cars on the highway. It looks like the cars from like Blues Brothers or whatever. They're all blue, and then they have the big freaking one red light in the middle or whatever, driving around.
Oh yeah, those are the state boys.
Oh, is that the? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Nate was saying.
Patrol.
Oh, Nate was saying I like the like the moderation. You know what? That keeps the friggin' group kosher. You gotta let things go. Obviously, we're not uptight like some other groups, but there's a fine medium. I'm not gonna let people disrespect people just because they're asking a question or whatever.
We should make a list of all the things that Joe doesn't let in the Facebook group. It's a rather lengthy list.
No, it's not.
Including people's names.
Oh my god.
No, but I did want to talk about something now that we got Bill here, because Bill and I were having a conversation earlier talking about crappy installs. And we were discussing just in general, the consensus we came to is just people that just don't care, that just do things. And then now I'm kind of adding to it. It reminded me, Adam, when I was watching the intro and you have a stock image of you leaning over a gas line to get into like a small carrier package unit or something. And it's things like that, like those gas lines, like people, there's a lot of people out there that just don't care at all, whether they be installers or service guys. And I mean, leaving their trash on the roof, and it just, I wish that people would think about service when they're installing and vice versa. But
I had that conversation today with one of the guys that I was installing with.
Yeah.
Well, we were doing a case coil on top of the furnace, and I used to all the time, and I got in the habit of it because of train coils. They used to give you these plugs and the screws, and you could screw the coil through these holes into the flange of the furnace to make it nice and tight, right? For an upflow application, where's the coil going to go? There's a flange on it. Where's it going to go, right? I can't tell you how many times after I've installed the coil that way with the screw, I've had to replace the coil or whatever else, and now there's a return drop next to it, and you got to get the freaking screws out of the thing. It's a hassle.
Yeah.
Now he's like, "Do you want me to screw the coil?" I'm like, "No, tape it." What is the coil going to move? I'm like, "Where's it going to go? Where do you think it's going to go? It's not going to go anywhere. We're screwing it from the top. You're taping it on the bottom. It's taped on the top. It's not going anywhere." And I'm like, I'm thinking about the guy that's going to have to change this 10 years from now. Make it easy at him.
Yep. And you know what? And I say this all the time, Adam, make it easy for the next guy. Right. But selfishly, I hope I'm the next person. Right. Because then it's easier for me. So it's not just I'm doing it for the next guy. I'm doing it for myself. So that way, I don't have to run. But if it helps the next guy too, then so be it. But make things easy, install it, thinking about the next guy. There's
like one of the things I did today was I replaced an oil pump motor on a fryer, right? And there's a lot of elbows and fittings that go around this pump. And I always tell everybody, just put a little bit of just a layer of pipe tape, plumber's tape, just around the threads, not to seal anything, but just to keep the grease out of the threads. So when you come back to change it in a year, it's easier. Or the next guy, make it easy for the next guy.
Yeah. And then what's the other one I say a lot too, or I used to say a lot was, install it like someone's going to walk behind you and talk shit. Like, don't give them any fuel, just think like, even if you don't know exactly everything, just think like, what's going to be the best way I can do this, within reason, and try to do it that way. And then nobody has anything to talk shit on you when they come behind you,
I was having a conversation, a couple weeks ago, and then we continued it today about, when you have residential service techs, it probably goes in commercial too, but residential service techs, are these guys taking advantage of people and misdiagnosing? Are they misdiagnosing it, or are they telling lies to customers, right? So they can make quick money. Which the direction that most often happens, right? And I thought there's a lot of guys out there that just lie nonstop. There probably is somewhat of that, but I think more times than not, it's people that just don't know what they're doing. It's like, yeah, you need this.
That's a fair statement. But I'm going to say something too. Like, I have a person. This is kind of going in a different direction, but I don't think I told you guys this. But there's a person. I'm not going to mention who he is, but he's another content creator, and he had an issue with me and literally made a video about me. It was stupid, but anyways, I watched
Gary McCready.
No, I need to call Gary back though. We're trying to talk, but anyways,
you told us about this before.
Yeah, I told that, right? Well, anyways, I one of his videos popped up on my feed, so I clicked on it and I was watching, and it's like, okay, but it's just interesting. Watching him go through his service process. I don't think I'd ever really watched one of his videos, and it's kind of cringeworthy. It's just kind of like, wow, okay. I don't think it's that he doesn't care. I think that he just doesn't know about some of the technology out there. And it's like for instance, left a vacuum pump running for 12 hours at a residential repair and then came back the next day. And it's like, whoa.
Why though? Why is he making it that long? Like, is he using through the gauges or something? Like, why is he?
Yeah, but I just don't think that he really sees the value or knows that the new technology exists.
Yeah,
like I'm just kind of like,
I hear you.
Old school way.
You have good hoses and you have a micron gauge, especially, there's times where I'm at 200 microns in less than a minute.
Yeah,
legit less than a minute on the vacuum pump, right?
Yeah.
And I let it go. There's a timer. The Blue Vac thing is a timer once you're under 500.
Amazing tool.
Right. Yeah. So, but I mean, I used to leave the vacuum pump on for hours for, I'd sweat, solder everything in, and then, it's running for 3-4 hours. Now it's like, all right, it's been on there for 10 minutes and I passed the decay test. Let's send this thing.
Yeah. You know what? To be honest, George is kind of right what he's saying. It is kind of a hazard. I wouldn't want to do that. Leave it at Resi's.
No, I mean, and if you think about it's a hazard, there's a lot of things, but think about the worst case. Okay, so let's say if you are going to leave your vacuum pump running, right, but it gets unplugged, you just lost the whole vacuum.
Right.
You know, like
there goes another day.
You know,
boy,
like,
we're making money.
But hey, I mean, I'm not bagging on a person per se. I think I'm bagging on ignorance. I don't think he knows that the technology exists. Like, I just don't think he's there to see that kind of stuff. And that kind of goes to what you were saying, Adam, like how some people just honestly don't know really what they're doing.
Do you think also it could be like they're just not motivated to try to figure out? Or
yeah, I'm sure that's a factor. You know?
I wonder sometimes if maybe, like, I don't know, it's a kind of a fine line between they're just not motivated to better themselves or to wake up and look around and be like, I'm sure there's a better way to do this. Let me just do some research and figure it out. Or they just lack complete awareness of there's other ways of doing this same thing.
I think there's a bunch of things that happen. I think there's people that just don't give a damn and they want to work 8 hours a day and they don't care. They want to pay their bill and like what they don't care about making more money or bettering their, like, you know, mastering their trade. But then I think I was in a spot for I was in a spot for a long time where there's things I wanted to learn, but I was intimidated to learn them. There's still things that I want to learn right now that I'm like, my mind, like talking to Hausch about like psychometrics and stuff like that. I'm intimidated about that.
I like in another whatever, it's not possible for me to go this direction. But when I see the kind of commercial industrial work that I see, like Will Speed doing, you know, those guys, Jason Johnson doing stuff like that, I want to do that. I want to learn that stuff. When I see Holden Schamberger from HVAC Time. Yeah. When I see him do some of his classes and different things, it's like, dude, I want to work on some of that equipment. I do, but I
you know, I think about that weekly, Chris. That same thing that you're talking about.
I want
we
to.
have the same feelings.
Yeah, I can't. I think
you just can't work on everything. I know you just can't.
I want to.
Well, and you know, like I sort of went down that route where I, you know, switched companies for a little while there, and we were doing a little bit more industrial. I was like, you know, this is cool and all, but then I was thinking, you know, if you really want to dive into it, you in some situations you sort of have to start at the bottom. And I guess where I'm at in life now, I really can't afford to start from the bottom and, you know, work my way up to the top and learn as I go. I sort of have decided to just embrace what I already know and, you know,
good point.
Keep on rolling with it.
Does anyone have a hard time taking Bill seriously, like looking at his freaking thumbnail right now?
I know. And I was just gonna say, Bill, not everybody could be Drake. Start from the bottom. No,
hold on, let me slow down. I outran the internet.
Gotcha.
I was gonna go somewhere right now, and I can't remember what I was gonna say. Damn it, I lost my train of thought.
Bill just mentioned that he's kind of like settling in. He's just happy, content with what he has, and that's important.
That's right. Yeah. So, like, I can't help but think that my curiosity to want to go do the kind of stuff that Will Speed does and the big commercial industrial stuff, when I see guys doing ammonia work and things like that, am I just afraid to do that? Or am I being practical as a family person that doesn't want to? Because like I kind of justify it as I don't want to change my family's life just for me to go on some adventure. Like, so, or am I just a nut?
It is cool though. I mean, I don't know. I did feel like a moron talking to Will down at the symposium. Like we were at that bar that night and we did the meetup and he's all like, dude, this is late at night. I don't know what time it was, midnight or something else. He's all tipsy. He's like, dude, I was in this clean room and I'm doing this and flipping this and flabbing that and telling me all this crap. I'm like, I have no clue what the hell you're talking about.
That's what he specializes in. Is he's like critical rooms, air balancing of rooms, exhausting, and fresh air coming in. And he's filtration. That's what he's specializing in. He sees it every day. So,
I mean, it's hard to hold. He's a cool dude. He was awesome to talk to, but like, I couldn't take myself seriously telling him stories when he's telling me. It's like,
why?
I don't know about that.
I don't know because you
yeah. Oh, look at that.
It just
Bill changed his little thumbnail thing. Is that better?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Shit.
And we can see you now.
Sorry to like all you guys here in this chat, even on chat, many of them But you know, you guys are geniuses. You guys all should be patting yourself on the back because you guys are more than average. Put it that way.
That's a very good point, Joe.
Yeah.
I think we surround ourselves with some of the smartest people in this industry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, yeah, we all have sick, twisted senses of humor, but I think at the end of the day, we care about this trade.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that we just genuinely have a good group of people, like you said, Bill, that we have surrounded ourselves with. But I think that we all, in a weird way, probably flock to each other just in general, because even though we don't have the same knowledge, I feel like we see the drive or the passion that we all have. So that's kind of what keeps everybody, you know, somewhat close together.
Yep. Especially when you've seen these, you know, guys that have been on for so long or in the community for so long, Ty Brennan, and you know, when you see him still making these strong, you know, videos and comments, it's pretty, you know, inspiring, you know.
Yeah.
You want Banana Man with the strong videos?
Banana Man, yeah.
But it's just genuinely cool, like being able to and same thing, like Bill called me today to ask me a question about a Heatcraft evaporator coil, right? Because I work on those all the time. But you know,
I did email you, but you never responded, so I had to call you.
But like in the same aspect, like I reach out to people that I look up to too. You know, like I got a refrigeration question that I don't know. I'm calling Brett, you know, and I'm having a conversation with him or, you know, whoever. Like, and I like the ability to be able to do that. Now, the question is where we're at right now. This is going to change the subject a little bit, but we're all in this place where we really enjoy somewhat learning and growing. How do we get the new people interested in that?
Right.
I don't know.
Because we have all gravitated, but how do we get the new people to be interested, to be driven? I genuinely think that content like YouTube videos help some of the younger kids. I feel like they you know, watch that stuff and that's kind of their area.
Yeah, but they have to have some sort of a drive to even find the content and to go through it. There's a lot of people out there that just don't give a damn, and they're just like,
yeah, that's true. Very true. So, very, very true.
Like, how do you make somebody give a damn? Like, how do you motivate somebody?
Yeah, no, and Ty Brennan said it in chat as well. He says you can't it was a good comment. Someone to care. You can't teach somebody to care. Put it that way. Something like that. Along the line. You can't. They have to want to do it. And that's what's the hard part about it. Finding those guys that have that drive and passion.
TY Banana Man, he's a smart guy.
So BPHC up north asked, how do we call you guys when we have questions?
I'm gonna post Chris's cell phone number in the chat.
I've had the same damn
I'll
number.
sell it. I'm gonna
I've had the
auction
same number for like 15 years. Please don't change that number for me.
Weaver Main, it's good to see you. He says some old timers seem not to give a shit. They just know what they know. They're good at what they do, and they don't want to take anything else. There's places in the street for people like that. Yeah, I agree.
Go ahead, Bill.
Going back to like what Adam was, or that comment that one of you guys just said. You know, like the Facebook group that we have. I mean, anytime anybody has any questions or anything, post it up there. I mean, you can DM any one of us. I'm sure we'll get back to you. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not
start a conversation.
Not just us. I think that there's a lot of way smarter people than us in the group that are very helpful. Right.
So how do we get the younger people, or not even the younger people, let's just say the new people to the trade, because you don't have to be younger, but how do we get those people to be interested? Like,
well, there was a guy in the HVAC Overtime group. It was a pretty cute post. He went to his daughter's or son's.
How cute was it?
What?
Was it like,
he went to like, oh my God.
Hey, when you looked at it, did your eyes turn into little hearts?
I was
gonna go plop, 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 plop.
Yeah,
plop, plop,
heartbeat came out, melting, flutter.
You got the like tingly feeling down in your
not quite, not for this post. Not for this post. No. No, he went to his son's school, little guys, and he was telling them about the trade. It was awesome, you know, like.
Oh yeah, that was a good post.
Yeah. Getting that drive early, like, guys, you don't have to be lawyers and doctors. This trade pays more than a lot of things out there.
So
and
Well,
it's
that and
fun.
like the physics of it. Like when I was in high school, I remember I loved physics. I loved physics class,
Yeah,
science
me too.
class,
Yeah.
and like looking back, I'm like, yeah, they're direct correlation. What the things I do every day are directly related to physics and science. And
I absolutely did not like physics, did not like science, did not like math. I hated it.
oh
Hated it
my
all.
god,
Was not into any of it. But this kind of leads to the question that I had for you guys, and I want you guys to answer this. But what
that's how questions work.
in the beginning of your career, right? You got in the trade for whatever reason, but in the beginning of your career, what made you want to continue to keep trying?
In the beginning of my career, I didn't want to keep trying.
Really?
I didn't really care.
But I mean, what made you keep coming back to work?
That's a good question.
I didn't really care to go to college, and I wanted money.
Money was a big one for me, but at the same time, I actually worked for my dad growing up, and I wanted nothing to do with this trade. Now, partially that was, I've equated it in my head that because he would ever have me go to work with him when I was a little kid from, I don't know, eight years old and up, I'd go to work with him, but he'd always stick me on the roof and be like, just change the filters, and it's hot or it's cold or it's, so I just, it wasn't fun to me, and it was repetitive. Change filters, change belts, like move on.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
So I wanted nothing to do with it, but
Yeah.
then I just needed a career change, and I wanted, I decided to go work for my dad. Now, what made me keep coming back was when my dad couldn't answer a question because I was confused, and he didn't know how to tell me the answer to it, and he would say, learn from your teacher, ask your teacher that question, and that used to frustrate me. So from that point forward, I didn't want to be that person that didn't know how to explain things to someone else. I didn't want anybody else to feel the way that I felt. So that's what kept me going, because then I always wanted to know the answer to this. And, and I was interested in learning and growing.
I think
that was my motivator too, was just not knowing, like going to work on stuff and just not understanding how it worked and being confused of the whole operation of everything. And
I'm driven by embarrassment, and I don't want to be embarrassed. So like that's my drive. Like I don't want to be embarrassed, and I get embarrassed easy. So
Sean S briefly just said, and put in chat, Chris has personally called and helped me when I was having a relay issue with the evaporator, and Chris is awesome. Hey Sean, that is awesome comment. Honestly, I think who said it? There was George and there was somebody else in Spiro or somebody. And we all have it too. You gotta admit, guys. Now, what drives me still to this day is the euphoric feeling of fixing something and being the guy, being that guy.
Better than anything is when you go to somebody's house and they're like, "We've had 4 people at the house before," and then you walk in there and it's like 15 minutes, you get it fixed, and they're like, "You're amazing." You're like, "That wasn't that hard."
You don't say that though. You don't say that.
No, but I genuinely get honestly feel embarrassed that they tell me those things. I'm like, no, this isn't anything special. Like I just, it's not that, like I have a hard time accepting praise for sure.
Humility in you. But hey, listen, I don't know. I agree to a certain level, but hey, you are that guy. Sometimes it just needs a right kick at the right spot to be that guy. And kudos to you. You have the knowledge, and hopefully people will learn from it. Maybe the other company will come back to, oh, what did he do? This is what he did. Oh, okay. That's awesome. I don't know. It's that feeling, that rock star feeling. You're right, Herman Lloyd.
But it money is definitely part of it too.
Oh, absolutely.
I would just grab for any overtime that I could get. I took all the on calls for a year. I was just like, I remember a full year of I'm on call this whole year, and I took every one, and because it was just me and my dad at the time, and I was just like, no, we're just gonna do this, and because I just love those overtime checks too. So
yeah. No, honestly, what trade can
you? Are you like getting dogs? What are you running over right now? Sorry.
No, go
what
ahead.
Happened?
You can't hear it because it's so loud.
Some guy in the corner with a cardboard sign.
Oh, you hit him. Okay, one last. It's okay. Honestly,
like,
guys,
anything will help. I'm like, how about my bumper? Will that help you?
Bam. You know what? The van I'm driving now, honestly, my mission was when I'm driving and I'm going over big bumps, not to hear that stuff. And I know it's easier for me with a smaller van, but I can't stand that. After a long day of work, I can't get that. It kills me, guys. That's my OCD.
I was able to solve the rattling. My van has no rattling when I'm driving whatsoever.
So you get it. Good
but
job.
I still bounce. When I bounce, if I hit a bump, it's boom, boom. You hear everything back there.
Gotcha.
So you can't get rid of that one.
Oh yeah,
and that's
I got carpet under all my shelves.
That helps too. But that's that working van leaf spring suspension, you know, like it's so stiff
but that it bounces.
That's why sometimes those smaller vans with the, you know, the individual suspension, it's nice. And if you have everything nice and sturdy, a lot of Milwaukee pack will keep everything solid. When I go home, it's just like I'm driving a regular car. I'm like,
I used to have a you know, Chevy truck with an extended cab with doors and reclining seats and big old service bed. And I miss that service bed in some aspects because it was so quiet. You felt like you were in your personal car. Actually, there was a point at which my service truck was nicer than our family personal car. And my family actually wanted to ride in my service truck, you know, like, hey, can we take your truck, Dad? Because it's nice, you know, like it was a great truck, but it sucks having all your crap outside, you know, like there's nothing when it rains. That's one of the biggest things. Oh my gosh, going to your service body, dude, and having to stand outside in the rain or open the top bin where all your loose parts are, and now they're all soaked. You're like, fuck. You know?
I know. Especially here with winter, the element of winter. It's like we gotta hide everything.
I had a rolling top on mine, right? So all my refrigerant would be in the front of that, and I had a full 6-foot bed. So you're not sticking in head first. You're crawling on top of everything to get a 25-pound jug of refrigerant out. You're like, fuck, trying to drag that out.
When I first started my company, just for the fact that I had to drive my kids around when my wife was working, I bought I think it was a Dodge Ram. I believe it was a mega cab. It's like the biggest 4-door you can get in a pickup truck. And I had a top on the back, but you know what I had, which was really handy? You guys ever see the bed slide?
Yeah.
Those are like awesome. The whole bed pulls out of the back and you don't have to climb in.
Definitely would get it if I had
super helpful.
Yeah.
You know, getting back to like the van rattle and stuff, what really helps is bungee cords. And I got a nice set of noise canceling headphones, so I just pop them bad boys on and listen to podcasts while I'm driving.
So, let me address Jason Johnson's. Don't let me forget to address the bungee cord thing, though, okay? But Jason Johnson, that is a cool tip, and I too figured that out. Is if you spray foam in the ends of your ladder, or they make little caps for them, but the caps can fall off. But if you spray foam, they do actually have caps for some brands, but it's just a little shove-in cap. It's not going to last very long. But the spray foam will stop the whistling noise on top of your van.
You know what I noticed?
The air going across.
I bought the Little Giant, or is it Little Giant? Little Giant sumo stance. Ladder, the extension ladder. That doesn't whistle like the Werners.
Interesting. So to get back to the bungees, Bill, before I forget, you know that there's some companies, and there's a whole thing about how actually dangerous bungee cords are, especially in our vans. Now, I have bungees in mine too, but I watched a video a while back that was talking about some companies that completely ban bungee cords, and it has something to do with their insurance policies because the bungee cords can get brittle. And if you put too much tension on them and they snap when someone's there, it'll freaking mess them up, you know? So there's companies out there that don't let people use bungees at all.
Ty was saying paint if it's fiberglass. And to be honest, here they're getting strict on ladders. Here they I don't even think they could be permit level. They can't be metal anymore. I think they have to be fiberglass. And I'm not sure if you could paint them. I don't know if that would affect their integrity. I don't know.
No. Ty's talking about painting the fiberglass ladders that splinter.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
If you paint them. So if you take a fiberglass ladder, even just clear coat, when you get a brand new extension ladder, just clear coat the whole ladder before you use it. Clear coat's
a good idea because I think they're looking for colors. I think they're looking for certain colors when they come around.
But with the ladders, if you do it from the beginning, clear coating it when it's old is probably not going to stick, but that'll help make your ladders last longer because I have one right now with one of my techs and I'm about ready to tell him to throw it because I'm like, dude, every time you pull that thing out, even if I'm not near it, I've got glass all over me.
Oh, that's annoying.
You got to go for the Little Giant.
I can't. Those things are too damn heavy, bro. I can't do it.
It's not that bad.
But I carry a 32-foot extension ladder, dude.
That's a lot.
on my
And that's
van.
not heavy.
What do you have? I mean,
Damn.
what do you use? Fiberglass ladder or
You
what?
climbing skyscrapers with
fiberglass.
that?
I'm telling you, it's pretty light.
What is it? What's the next one under the 32?
28.
28.
It's the
That's
28.
what I carry.
I carry a 28. I used to carry a 24. It's the 28 because when I heard 30, I actually bought a 30 one time. That's right, because I thought I wanted it and I used it for like a week and I was like, oh, this is just dumb, and I took it back. I was like, yeah, you guys can have that thing back. So that thing was too big.
I think what I use most is like half of that ladder. Like, you know, when you take it apart and you use half of it on the old ones, that's like the perfect height.
I just like how you could adjust the legs on the Little Giant. Like if you're uneven,
stairs,
you know how like you keep moving and shimmying your ladder around so it doesn't rock.
Yeah,
I appreciate the Little Giant stuff. And then what's is Little Giant the one that has the folding one too that opens up and extends out?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Little Giant. Yeah, I have a restaurant that has one of those. It's heavy as hell, but it's really nice because he leaves it in the restaurant. So I just basically unfold it in the restaurant and lift it up the hatch. That's all I do.
No. Those things are stupid. The new A-frame Little Giant ladders. I can't remember what they're called, but like it's just a regular A-frame ladder, and then it opens straight up as like almost like a straight, not
oh, interesting.
ladder,
Okay,
like
right.
Yeah, they're awesome. Like those other ones that like articulate and all that crap. Those are too heavy. And
yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. I'm like, those things are heavy.
With
I mean,
things
it's
with the
convenient,
knobs?
the restaurant that has one, but I don't have to move it but 6 feet. So I'm like, oh, okay, you know.
You got to check out their extension ladders. They're freaking awesome.
One ladder I'm trying to get. Chris and I talked about it a long time ago when I seen it posted, but I can't get them here because they're not CSA approved. Just like the CSA work boots, they haven't come to Canada yet. They're in Home Depots in the States. Is that Murphy ladder? It's so perfect for my van. I'm like OCD when it comes to my
the one
van
that
setup.
goes sideways, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I could put it sideways in the
Listen,
van, nicely tucked away. Because vans, you gotta admit, ladders and vans are pain in the ass inside the van. It's pain in the ass for small.
Could you imagine though? Like, I wish I could roll without a ladder rack in general. I wish I could roll with just a normal van top. That would be epic, dude. If I could get my ladder and everything inside,
the reason why too, I can't have a ladder. I just don't like the inconveniences. I can't go in the underground. I want to have a car. I want to go wherever I want, whenever I want. You know, and it's convenience
because at the gay bars in your area, it's all underground parking.
All underground. They don't want anybody to see, so I have to be discreet.
Gotcha, Joe. For service, I was kind of thinking the same thing because I have a big I have a ProMaster. It's the biggest whatever ProMaster with a KUV body on the back.
Yeah.
And it's freaking big. I was looking at those tiny little, what do you call them? Transits or the Transit Connect or whatever they are. Those little, just for service, just pack that back up with parts and tools and crap. And
I love it. I honestly think the perfect van is the Mercedes Mercan or something. I think that'll be the next one.
Midget Mercedes. The U.S. Postal Service just bought
midget those, is not politically correct terminology.
The really little guy that looks up to everybody else. Should we refer to him as that? Everything.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Either that or I don't know if they're huge there yet. I might just hold off for the next one, and I think I'm gonna go electric. I can't believe I'm saying this. I think I might go electric.
I think you need another couple years, man. I'm watching a dude right now that just bought the Ford Transit electric.
Okay.
And I'm watching his everyday stuff, and when you look at the actual mileage that he can get in a day, it's hideous,
how much?
Dude. I wanted to say it was like in the 200 miles a day or something.
I wouldn't need that.
No, that's not too bad. Actually, I'm thinking kilometers. That's actually not too bad.
I'd do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Easy. No, I can't. Nice. I can't. I would push that with and then that's probably highway. So imagine stop and go. And they're not even factoring in you filling the damn thing up with all your crap. So I just don't know if the technology's there. Where are you going to charge? As a work van, so are all my restaurants going to put in power charging stations for me?
I don't know about you, Chris. Over here, all the hotels, they have it mapped out for you on Google Maps. Probably it's getting pretty convenient. I'm pretty sure even there as well.
I just don't think it's there yet. I think in the grand scale of everything, I think it's that, and you're one of the downsides to an electric car too is you are 110% committed to having it serviced at the same place forever.
Sure. Sure.
You don't have the opportunity to say, I just need some brakes done. Let me take it to my
I mean, wait.
What are you gonna get done? Like, it's
Getting back to HVAC, we're getting close to that point as well too, with all these different manufacturers splitting and not using the same refrigerant anymore.
Yep.
It's good. And they have all their proprietary parts and communicating bullshit. It's going to get to the point where it's like you work on Train and that's it. You work on Carrier and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're going to see more. That'd be interesting. Seeing more in-house kind of stuff with big corporations, you know, working on their own stuff. That's an interesting dynamic. I mean, interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, it is very interesting. I don't, you know, you're right. It could be a little early. Even electric car, honestly, I never thought would have said that, but they're just so, like you were saying about maintenance, or like, so far, you're right. We should step back and see what's going on with them maybe in a few years. But what's there to do? Your brakes are they're going to very seldom, you probably have to change your brakes, because you put it in that mode. It's like a go-kart. You could just let off your gas pedal and it stops. You don't even use a brake. It's just,
it's brake regeneration or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I see it, but guys, I mean, we don't got to get political. What you're paying for one of these things and what your electric costs are.
How much are they going for, anyways?
$100,000+ for most electric cars here. If you get fully loaded ones, $100,000+. Now the work vans, you're not paying $100,000, but if you get the personal, you get the Teslas, you get the nice model.
They have cheaper, less
cheaper ones.
But
the vans.
But when you go to Tesla's website and you go to the Model 3 or whatever, and you start pricing that one out, I think it starts at like $60,000, and you're like, oh, that's reasonable, right? But then you start going through the options, and you're like, oh yeah, I do want to get more than 200 miles a day. Oh yeah, that's going to cost
really
an extra.
And one of the options where I think it's like $10,000 is, do you want the fully autonomous option?
And you know what Tesla started too? When you go to, I watched the new Chevy truck or something like that, and someone was reviewing it, and they were saying, oh, you want the unlocking doors? Yeah, that's $7 a month.
Oh my God.
You want this? So Chevy's doing it now too. You want this navigation system, you know? Oh, that's a per month fee. You don't just get it on there and then you don't renew it. No, it turns off. Well, that's kind of creepy to think you're buying a car and someone can electronically turn things on and off in it as long as you keep paying.
Well, I heard like Teslas, if you don't pay your freaking bill on it, they could just turn it on and have the freaking thing drive instead of like repoing your car.
Makes sense. 100% makes sense. I mean, I don't like it, but I don't know if I like this a la carte pricing that everybody's going to. And I feel like HVAC is skating that line too. You know, with all the new technology. I mean, think about it, like Measure Quick, right? I mean, we're getting lucky right now. We get to use it for free, but really we should be paying for that. And they're getting to that point. They're getting big where they're starting to work with Service Titan and giant Gettle air conditioning and all these, like Measure Quick is doing stuff with just them. So they're getting to that point where we're going to need things like Measure Quick, and we're going to have to pay the monthly fees to keep, you know, we're lucky in this stage right now where we get it for free, but everything's going to go a la carte.
It can, Chris. Sequest is saying, Chris, that's just with Tesla, they're in the process of right for your own repair. Like you can bring it wherever you want. They're in the process of doing that. And
well, I understand the right to repair, but I'm talking not even that. Just right now, do you really think you're going to trust, even if you had a certified mechanic that doesn't work for Tesla, are you really going to trust him to fix your Tesla?
Not now.
No, it's a whole mind thing that we have to get to, and it's going to take time.
Susie's saying they have, I guess they're already making an electric power truck with Terravis bed covered by Worksport. I guess the solar panel.
Yeah,
you're gonna start seeing that too, probably just to say, give you that extra.
Solar's really hit the RV community. I watch a lot of RV travel families and stuff, and they're all lithium-ion batteries, solar panels all over their stuff. Like, yeah, so
that's awesome.
I would if I had the dough for it, I'd buy the Cybertruck just as a freaking, you know.
I think the Cybertruck's a novelty. If I was going to buy a truck, right now that the new Ford Lightning is looking really nice. If they made that in an HD version, the electric in an HD with like a 3/4 ton, that'd be badass. But the Ford one,
I'd take the Cybertruck over the Ford.
The Ford one though, dude, I mean, like literally, I watched, it's the fully loaded one. Someone put a trailer on there and it tells you how much the truck weighs and how much the trailer weighs, like real time. So you can see what the tongue weight is just by pushing a button. Like, oh yeah, we're not overloaded, we're good to go. So all those things are going to change It's amazing what they're doing.
Cybertruck was canceled.
Was it really?
Oh, I don't know.
What?
Hmm.
Huge analog gauges. Anyways,
yeah, I haven't heard it, but yeah, I mean, I get the electric thing, but the cost of it and the payback just isn't there for me. Just doesn't make practical sense.
we don't have him here. I haven't seen it, but that GMC truck, it looks badass, man.
The GMC is going to be the Chevy, so it's the same thing.
Joe,
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
All you got to do, Joe, now is install a heat pump in your house and you're going to be good to go, you know?
Yep.
On that note, let's end the show. No,
Hey, we have been going for a while, so it's cool.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
Thanks, guys.
Let's do this. It was a good show for sure.
I would say it's mediocre at best.
Well, we didn't have
Bill's not
Bill
here.
for comedic relief, so
Yeah,
He
he,
does.
Bill he's definitely the funniest out of the four of us.
yes, he is.
he must be.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Ed? So who's yeah.
We didn't have anything witty to say at the end.
No,
No.
It's the one person missing vibe. You know, you gotta have the full. You know it is.
Is this better volume? I think I nailed it this time.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how loud it is on their side. I barely hear it in my ears.
That's what I was trying to go for.
Every time I see these credits, I read a little bit more. I've never read the whole credits 100%, and it makes me laugh every time I read a little phrase. in the credits.
That's awesome, Chris.
We need to change it. Oh, by the way, thanks for sending me videos, guys, because we paid for a new intro outro, and the guy's just walking around in Sri Lanka.
Living a life on our money.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jim. Mike. Awesome.
Life,
Thanks,
life
buddy.
has been busy, my friend. Life has been busy. But I'm working up. I'm ending some obligations, so
Thank
hopefully
you.
I can start paying attention again and helping.
All right. Well, can we be friends again this week, guys? Because we didn't talk very much.
Yeah, I guess so.
Sure.
You guys just don't like the pictures I send all the time.
I miss Luke's balls.
Yeah, I got in trouble for the wiener pictures and the balls pictures. Someone told me that it's like, what is it? The animal porn
It's called
crap.
bestiality.
Bestiality, there you go.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, no, and they're like, yeah, think about it as an outsider looking in. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Oh yeah. that makes
I mean, we are pretty weird people.
We are. My wife
I
clearly
I
is
think
afraid of everybody.
if the HVAC Tactical does another award ceremony, we
Unique.
should get the freaking weirdos of the group.
I got an ear to the ground. Ben and I are supposed to do a podcast soon, so I'll tell him that.
Dave Johnson Ola is
There you
saying
go.
no more glory hole talk.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
you got to put your money where your mouth is.